Ah, there we go. Hey, but I started with this overlay because I wanted to save the comment in the VOD. That's funny. And yes, here we are, top of the hour. Things should be fine. Let me switch to this. There we are. Hey, hey. All right, let's load from last time. Hey there. Okay, let's see what happens today. By the time class ended, the sun had already started to set.
本当にうちに来るんだよね。
Are you that against it? After we walked out the school gate, Tsubaki kept mumbling to herself.
今日は浅井くんがお家に来ます。驚きの一日になりそうです。
Did you call your parents?
さっき学園の公衆電話で。
Did they say anything?
すごい嬉しそうだった。お父さんがお母さんに赤飯を炊けとか言ってた。
Red rice. Oh, interesting. What kind of family is that? There were many things I wanted to ask about Tsubaki's father. What does your dad do for a living?
いつも畑にいるよ。
Oh, he grows vegetables?
リンゴとか。
Oh, this is the first time I've heard about this. Has he always been a farmer?
おじいちゃんもひいおじいちゃんもずっとやってたんだって。
Yep. Pretty much what I was guessing last time, that it was just something that was passed down through generations, and it's their land, and they want to stay. The man runs an apple orchard. I was wondering why this particular piece of land was so big. It's a whole field of apple trees. I get the feeling we'll have to compensate them for each individual apple tree when they move out. You might even end up having to arrange for them to get substitute farmland. Yet, even though all of this would certainly raise the compensation costs, I can't imagine you would sum up to match the value they were already offered. Thus, the reason they won't move is... I see. So this land has been in your family for generations.
お父さんもお母さんも愛着あるみたいなんだ。
They simply don't want to move from the place they're comfortable with. A very simple and very obvious reason.
でも最近ね、引っ越してくださいって言われてるみたいなんだ。
A very sticky situation indeed. This isn't an issue of money.
お父さんは断固拒否してるんだけどね。営業の人もなかなか諦めないみたいで。
And little do you know that one of those people is standing right in front of you. Seems like you're in a bit of trouble. Perhaps I can help you with this.
浅井くんが？
Didn't I tell you that I work for my dad? I know a few professional surveyors and asset managers.
本当？すごいな、浅井くんは。頼りになるな。
Tsubaki's face blushed brightly like an apple. Also, let me talk a bit with your dad.
私からもお願いするよ。お父さんも土地とか権利とか難しい話はよくわからないらしくて困ってるの。
It would be great if I could help out. I smiled brightly. A highly calculated smile. Mm-hmm.
ここだよ。
We rode the subway all the way to the Eastern District. Tomanbetsu City is divided into 9 districts. The Eastern District is the most rural one. The whole place is farms and greenhouses as far as the eye can see. But on the road, huge freight trucks and excavators busily and mercilessly worked to clear the land. The development is progressing. Are Eiichi and Usami going to be coming?
お家の住所は教えておいてよ。
I wonder what they're here to do.
みんな一緒の方が楽しいよ。
Forget Eiichi for a second. Usami's presence is the one that kind of bothers me. In that case, let's go in.
ちょっと待って。
Tsubaki stopped me.
H 君と宇佐美さんが来るのを待ってからにしない？
Huh? But didn't they say they'd be late?
それまで どこかで時間を潰してればいいんじゃないかな。
Where?
公園とか。
And do what?
ブランコ。
Are you serious?
滑り台でもいいよ。
Come on now.
ごめん、かくれんぼの方が良かった？
This is ridiculous. Do you only play kids games?
ゲームとかもするんだよ。
Alright, sounds good to me. And to do that we need to get inside. So let me in already.
ちょっと待って。
No matter how you look at it, she clearly doesn't want me to visit her home.
浅井くんに迷惑かかるよ。
And playing hide and seek outside in the winter cold won't be a headache?
だって勘違いされちゃうよ。
Misunderstood how?
うちの家族の勢いすごいから。
I don't really understand what you're getting at.
みんなで一斉に勘違いされちゃ
Yeah,
うよ。
they'll think you're her boyfriend or something. Oh, for God's sake. I pushed Tsubaki aside and crossed the house's threshold. A little bit forceful, entering someone else's house.
わかったよ、わかったから。せめていいよって言うまで待ってよ。
Oh, this face. I want to give her pat pats. Bless her. Alright, what are you trying to hide?
じゃあ待っててね。着替えてくるから。
Tsubaki hurried inside. I waited a bit. No, I waited a lot. You can come in now. Tsubaki's voice finally came from inside the house. Thanks. Upon entering, an uproar of voices immediately greeted me.
来た来た。
How lively.
彼氏も来たか？
There it is.
浅井くん、ちょっと待ってって。
Aww. Tsubaki yelled from behind me. I want to see her outfit. I'm curious. However, as if drawn to the noise, I went ahead and took off my shoes. Thanks for inviting me. Aww. That's a cute sweater that she's wearing. Okay. These three little ones have mischievous spelled all over their face. I'm curious where that will go. Hold on a sec.
彼氏だ。
おお、これはなかなかのイケメンじゃないか。
お姉ちゃんやる。彼氏かっこいい。お姉ちゃんご飯。
An incredible number of gazes.
彼氏名前なんて
おい、ひろあき、それはパパが聞きたいんだ。
さあさあ、座って座って。寒かったでしょ？
ご飯まだ
1, 2, 3, 4. Huh?
ごめんね。言ってなかったっけ？
Wait a minute. What's with this crazy
お
number?
い、つばき、お父さんに紹介しなさい。
Her father lightly tapped his slightly bulging belly. Ah, well, just as I was going to say my name. Um,
ほら、チロミ。
うわ、切ったね。
つばき。
お父さん、お行儀悪いですよ。
I looked to Tsubaki for help.
みんなちょっと静かにしてよ。姉ちゃん、僕お腹すいたよ。
もう、この子ったら。
The tiny one is so high pitched. Ah, my ears.
お姉ちゃんご飯。
And the music is just making it worse. The noise just wouldn't stop. Excuse me. Since they weren't making any progress on their own, I tried raising my voice. Suddenly, a soup spoon flew toward me. Excuse me. What the? This time it's a chopstick.
こら、お前たち椿の彼氏になんてことを。
彼氏じゃないよお父さん。
Tsubaki sounded flustered. I see. Now I know why Tsubaki didn't want me to come. The second chopstick hit my face.
もうみんな落ち着いてよ。
At this moment, the doorbell rang.
お邪魔します。
It's Eiichi.
はいはい、いらっしゃい。上がってくださいな。
すごい人数。ちょっとなんすかこれ。大家族スペシャル。
It's the Dango big family. In human form. The population density of the room increased once more with the arrival of Usami and Eiichi.
だから嫌だったんだよ。
Poor Tsubaki. I want to go home. Well, you're the one who insisted to come.
ごちそうさました。
Put up with it. What a brutal dinner.
椿ちゃんって5人兄弟なんだね。
And she's the eldest, which makes it even worse. What do you mean? Because the others are younger? After the kids finished eating, they all quickly went to sleep.
ごめんね。お父さんが変なことばっかり言って。浅井さん、完全に椿の彼氏さんってことになってますね。
Metamorphosis. Look at her though. She's so cute. This looks super cute on her. Ah, indeed, quite an overwhelming man, that father of yours. And as I smiled bitterly, a voice came from the changing
お
room.
い、京介くん、風呂入っていけよ。
That's
背
okay.
中流してやるぞ。あ、
What? I don't think I've encountered guests taking baths in people's homes. But maybe it's a cultural thing that I'm not aware. Ay, ay,
お父さん、もういいってば。
As if forgetting my original purpose here, I leisurely spent the evening in the company of my
み
classmates.
んなデザート食べる？
Tsubaki's mother put some pears on the table.
うまそうっすね。がっつりいただきます。あ、フォークあるよ。いらん。
Sami grabbed the pear with her hands and nibbled it like a small animal.
おい、京介。
You should eat pears and apples like that. It's good. Ichi whispered to me.
お前ら本当に付き合ってんだろ。
Of course not.
隠すなよ。わかるんだよ、俺ちゃんクラスになると。
Newsflash, my dude, you are not. You are no, you're the furthest thing away from it. We're not dating, right, Tsubaki?
何？
H is under the impression that we're really dating.
だってここんところ一緒に遊んでるじゃない。
You mean Aichi, Bear? I guess so.
そうっすね。CD 一緒に買いに行ったりしてましたね。
Sami joined the conversation as she stuffed her cheeks with pears.
忙しい京介くんにしては珍しいなって。おめえが特定の女に熱を上げるなんて珍しいっつうこと。
What nonsense. You're just overthinking things. It is nonsense, but perhaps it wouldn't be so bad to date her. If I could get her, and by extension her family's, trust, then it would be much easier to talk them into moving. Oh, God. Please don't date her. No.
じゃあまあ、二人は交際してるってことで。
At that moment, Tsubaki shook her head.
ごめん、本当に違うよ。
She smiled gently as if to remonstrate Usami and Eiichi.
変な誤解があると浅井くんに迷惑だから、はっきり違うって言わせて。
Cause me trouble. That one stuck with me for a
お
while.
姉ちゃん、おしっこ。
The youngest brother came by rubbing his eyes.
はいはい、ひろあき、こっちだよ。
She took his hand and walked out into the hallway.
椿ちゃんは優しいね。 私の仲間その1ですからね。
Aww.
どうしたの京介くん。はっきり違うって言われてショックだったの？
God, enough with that. Ichi's still making fun of me. A little. So I also joked around. I'm sure any man would love to have a wife so devoted to family. Of course, a family is not the type of satisfaction I want in life.
そういえば宇佐美さんは？はい。好きな人とかいないの？自分っすか？いますよ、はい。
Oh! She said it nonchalantly.
っては？
Mm. She suddenly got aggravated.
いないっすよ、んなもん。
Oh my god.
どっちなの？
Yeah.
浅井さんでないことだけは確実です。
Me?
じゃあ僕？やだな。僕年上の人が好きなんだよ。ごめんね。でも考えておくね。
Sure.
何ごちゃごちゃ抜かしてんすか。
She continued chowing down on her bear. Tsubaki came back with her brother.
姉ちゃん、一緒に寝て。今はお友達来てるからダメだよ。一緒寝て。ひろあき。困った子だな。
Usami wiped her hands and stood up.
そろそろ帰りますかね。そうだね。
I looked at the clock. I'm ready to head out too. But they should be here soon. Oh no. Oh no.
お母さん、誰か来たよ。
Oh no, who's they? Oh no, oh no, no.
はいはい。お父さん、出てくださいな。
誰だこんな時間に。
Tsubaki's father walked out of the bath and went for the door.
姉ちゃん、眠いよ。
Tsubaki's little brother still clinging to her.
もうしょうがないな。
Nevertheless, she showed no sign of disgust at her brother's nagging. Do you always sleep together?
だいたいね。特にひろあきは一番寝つきが悪いの。
So her brother's name is Hiroaki.
お姉ちゃん。
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! What? Noises came from the front of the house. People are shouting something. Oh god! Oh god! Oh god!
お父さん、どうかしたの？
帰れバカモンが。
His conspicuously loud voice reached the living room. Tsubaki looked unsettled. A short while later, her father came back to the living room.
たくあいつらは。
あなた、またですか？
今度はもっとたちの悪そうなのが来たよ。
Men from the Azai Corporation. Gangsters sent to negotiate with him.
どうしたの、つばきちゃん。なんでもないよ。ごめんね。
Tsubaki held her brother's hand tightly. Since I need to hear their report, I should be leaving now. Well, we should all be going now. I tipped my head.
帰るんすか？
Huh? Usami stood in front of me as if trying to block my way.
気にならないんすか？
Usami shot a glance at Tsubaki's parents, who were talking in the kitchen. I lowered my voice. This is their family business. Should we really get ourselves involved? I mean, you're one to speak, aren't you?
そうっすか。今日のところは帰りますか。
Usami looked at Tsubaki once more.
おい、つばき。何か困ったことがあったら、ちゃんと私に言うんだぞ。え？ありがとう。私を頼れ。
She spoke with conviction.
じゃあ、僕も帰る。
We all stepped out after saying our goodbyes.
今日はありがとう。楽しかったよ。
Tsubaki came out to send us off.
バイバイ。
Her brother Hiroaki waved goodbye, looking half asleep
美
already.
味しいご飯にありつけて、私はとても気分が良かったのでした。丸。
After that decidedly Tsubaki-esque comment, Usami turned and left. Oh, that was cute. Tsubaki, can I call you later?
え？何時くらい？
I don't know, but you go to bed late, right?
でも、どうして
She probably means, why use the telephone? Oh, it's nothing important. I'm just a little worried about you. Sorry about that. I scratched my hair as if embarrassed by my corny display of compassion.
ありがとう。待ってるね。
What a scumbag, our MC. I'm so sorry. Oh, I feel so crappy just seeing things from his perspective. Even though Tsubaki always has a smile on her face, I could tell that this smile was somehow different.
優しいな、浅井くんは。
This should do.
じゃあね。気をつけて帰ってね。
I immediately took out my phone when I got back home. I heard the report from the people who went to Tsubaki's house. I thought I told you not to get too rough. I was quite agitated. They had kicked the Miwa residence's door. What would you do if they decided to call the police? Come on, you guys aren't just some random hooligans. You can't go pulling this crap. Private matter? That's the kind of stuff people from a normal company can say. We're a front for the freaking mafia. This isn't the old days when you guys could do anything you want. It's my fault for using the wrong people. I need to be more prudent next time. If the police interfere, then we have to stop. Damn. I hung up the phone. I gathered my thoughts as I typed on the computer. Sitting alone at my desk has always made me feel more at ease. Miwa household. Family of 7. Maou. Usami. I pulled up my email and began to type in fragmented information. Relocate. Tsubaki's feelings. Kindness. Use to my advantage. Oh. Lovely child. What? Ah, because of the poem thing. Lovely child. Relocate, private settlement. Money. Maou. Oh, come, lovely child. Oh, come thou with me, for many a game I will play there with thee. Incoherent words glowed from the screen. Words I don't even know came up from the depths of my mind. I typed and thought at the same time. After I had brainstormed a few ideas, I sent this email to my own address. I opened my inbox and tried once more to organize the words. I learned this brainstorming method from a businessman I had met once before. It works quite well. It's not about money. I came to a conclusion. A conclusion regarding the reason the Miwa family will not sell their land. The appraised value of the land itself, combined with the costs associated with purchasing suitable substitute property, moving, and other assorted fees, is a surprisingly huge sum of money. If they would just move, even a family that huge would be very well to do. Thus, if they won't move, despite this, it's obviously not a financial issue. I don't like it. Every problem in this world can be solved with money. There's no way you could convince me otherwise. Yeah, okay. You think you're some big hotshot, but like, clearly you know nothing about life. It's all in this very sentence here. Or couple of sentences. In the meantime, I'll call Tsubaki. I called her home. Someone picked up immediately. Oh, that was fast. Oh, bless her heart. Oh, she's so pure. God damn it. Wow. Sorry to visit you on such short notice. The dinner was delicious. Yeah, it felt very at home. I haven't had a meal like that in a long time. Wow, it's rare to hear you brag about yourself. Yeah, Wasn't that your way of saying that you're a good cook?
ああ、そうだね。粋だったね。これで下手っぴだったらごめんね。
Oh, does that mean he's invited for dinner tomorrow as well? I guess I could take that as a sign that she was starting to open up to me. By the way, is your dad okay?
ごめんね。変なところを見せて。
They were land sharks, weren't they? The joy in her voice dropped out conspicuously.
なんかね、ヤクザさんみたいな人だって。
He knows what he's talking about. Really? That's horrible.
私、警察に連絡しようかと思ってるんだ。
What a brave girl. The police, huh?
どう思う？
Honestly, I don't think that's such a good idea.
どうして？
Because the police are really busy. What am I reading? I mean, they might not take the case. I'll bet the police won't mobilize unless they actually start to get violent. Okay. Oh god. Actually, there are some police officers who are even in league with the land sharks. In fact, since the Sano Corporation is the one backing this project, I wouldn't be surprised if they really have made some arrangements in that area.
無理かな。
I'd imagine it wouldn't. Like they say, no private intervention. The police simply won't bother with private disputes over land rights. Of course, what I described is more like the past, back when Yakuza didn't have to fear the law. Now the police will show up if they so much as yell too loud. If you have people coming on your private property, getting violent and smashing your door for no reason, I can't possibly see how the police couldn't react to that. Like, really. Jeez.
そっか。ありがとう。浅井くんは物知りだな。
She really is a sincere girl. Yes, and you're taking full advantage of that, aren't you? Is it okay if I keep coming to your house? I might be able to help somehow.
それは願ったり叶ったり嬉しかったりだよ。
What a strange way of putting it. Also, be sure to tell your dad. Tsubaki sighed as she
ごめん
replied,
ね。彼氏ってうるさくて。
I don't really mind. I have my plans. It didn't really feel all that uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Oh, come on. Is there a single man on this planet who wouldn't be thrilled to be called your boyfriend? Silence followed. I'm sure she's turning red on the other end of the line.
ありがとう。日記に書いておく。
Oh, God, this feels so... scummy, so scummy. Why the diary? Still, there's no doubt that she trusts me now. Based on tonight's dinner, I could see that Tsubaki's whole family loves her. Her father is stubbornly refusing to sell the land. Yet, might he listen to what his beloved daughter has to say? I can make good use of this. At that moment, Tsubaki spoke.
あのね、浅井くん。
Yes?
私、浅井くんに謝らなきゃいけないんだ。
Oh, what for? She seemed quite serious.
私ね、浅井くんってちょっと冷たい人なのかなって思ってた時期あるんだ。
Bless her pure heart. I thought you were a cold person before. I'm so sorry. Meanwhile, what is he doing? Will he apologize? I doubt it. I see.
1年生の時からずっとクラス一緒だったでしょ。でもあんまり話したことないし、話しかけてもブスッとしているような印象だったから。
Indeed, until recently, I never had any interest in Tsubaki. Because there was nothing to be gained there. Right? But now you have something to gain. Of course. What about it?
いや、だからごめんね。
Huh?
ごめんなさい。
You don't need to apologize for that. Again, this pain in my heart. You better feel it. It better sting. That's not something to apologize for. Why do you have to bow your head over no more than an impression of someone? I don't like this woman. I can appreciate the thought at least. Oh gosh. I would assume that appreciating the thought leads down her route, right? And we'd have to say that we don't like her. Oh god, oh god. Oh, it feels dirty just... Oh, sorry. No, back. I meant back. Yeah. I remember you saying that, Bear. Yeah, I remember. Oh my goodness. What? Oh wait, sorry. I don't want to scroll inside the game. Just out of curiosity. And no, even in Tsubaki's route, you would still say, I don't like this woman. Interesting. Okay, well, that's the choice to make, so... I mean, if Bancho is amused by that, he's amused. What can you do? I don't like it. I feel so bad to pick this. Well, I understand. See you tomorrow at school. Hey, Zeku. Nice to have you around. I still hear Tsubaki's breath over the phone. That breath lingered patiently until I finally hung up. A fiend. I am a fiend. At least you're self-aware. We can appreciate that. It gets better on rereads. Hopefully. Bancho is evil today. Aww. He's not evil. I don't even feel guilty about using a girl who trusts me so completely. I should get to sleep. I crawl into bed and close my eyes. The image of a smiling girl appeared in my mind, an image I hurriedly erased. This emotion raising its ugly head in my heart must be what they call a conscience. It said that the studious person can never go back to hard work once they learn the pleasure of leisure. What? No. No. Similarly, rediscovering one's conscience halfway down the path of darkness wildly shakes one's illusion of control. That night, I had a hard time sleeping. I left for school around noon. Eiichi found me in the hallway. Hey, did you like the food last night? So dark and edgy. Yeah, it's like, no. I mean, it's nice that he can feel his conscience growing, and it's kind of like putting a damper on things for him and making him reconsider, or at least, you know, be aware of the implications of what he's trying to do. But this thing, it said that a studious person can never go back to hard work once they learn the pleasure of leisure. That's a little bit... I don't agree with this statement. At least not in a vacuum, generic kind of thing. Anyway. We're not here for the MC's wisdom. That's fine. You sound like a douchebag. You're annoying, you know that? What's with you? Are you lonely or something? Come to think of it, Miss Noriko did just dump him. Excuse me? What? What's that have to do with anything? That's a profoundly disturbing hypothetical situation. run away on the opposite side of the earth? Something like that? Damn, now that's what I call a bad ending. Let's stop talking about this. You're giving me the creeps.
さすがに冗談だよ。しかし、椿を狙うとはお目が高いね。
I haven't really started gunning for her yet, but yeah. Oh lord. Wouldn't you think they deserve each other? I mean, yeah, from the perspective of the actual MC, yeah. I guess I was reacting more from my own perspective. Yeah.
俺は役に立つぜ。
Is that so?
そうよ。こう見えても俺はみんな大好き栄一くんで通ってるからな。
Are you though? I see. So the ladies still trust you.
お前が泣いて頼めば、椿との仲を進展させてやらんでもない。
As if you have that kind of power, dude. Chill out. You really think you could arrange something?
おうよ。とりあえず今日の放課後に俺扮する暴漢が椿を襲う。そこに颯爽とお前が登場するわけだ。
I was an idiot for thinking that I could expect anything from you.
はあ?
Where on earth can you find a girl who'd fall head over heels in love over such a stupid trick?
いや、椿ならありえるって。
Don't be ridiculous. Actually, I can't honestly deny it. For Tsubaki, it just might work.
何の相談すか?
Usami lazily made an appearance.
邪悪な気配を感じるんですが。邪悪な相談ですか?
You're right on the money.
いやね、京介くんがやっぱり椿ちゃんと仲良くなりたいみたいでさ。マジっすか。めっちゃ邪悪じゃないっすか。それで協力してあげようって話してたの。策を練ってたわけですね。邪悪な策。何かいいアイディアないかな。とりあえず今日の放課後に絵手吉さん扮する暴漢が椿を襲う。そこに颯爽と浅井さんが登場すればどうでしょう。
That's exactly the same idea that Ichi had.
ほら、宇佐美さんもこう言ってるよ。
No freaking way, you guys are useless. At that moment, the teacher I recognized passed by.
宇佐美さんよね。
あ、のりこ先生。
As if purposely avoiding Eiichi, Miss Noriko approached Usami.
あなたアルバイトしてるでしょ。
あ、はあ。許可は取っていますが、何か問題でもありましたか？
そんな話は聞いてないわ。
そんなバカな。担任の先生にちゃんとお願いしたはずですが。
とにかく放課後ちょっと職員室に来てもらいますからね。
How dare you have a part-time job so that you don't starve? You should starve and come to school anyway. More or less.
あ、はあ。
Miss Noriko left.
自分、居残り決定です。
What a disaster.
まあ何かの間違いだと思いますが、今日のバイトに入れなくなったらまずいです。
Do you need money that badly?
あ、いえいえ。店長にまた迷惑をかけてしまうのがなんとも。
Whatever. It has nothing to do with me. Class time. Hey, Tsubaki. I immediately sought her out after class. How about we go out today?
今日も?
Tsubaki's face seemed somehow happy, and I'm sure it wasn't just my imagination.
ひろあきも一緒でいい?
Hiroaki, is he the kid who saw us to the front door last night? Tsubaki nodded.
朝に遊んでってせがまれちゃったの。
That's awfully cute. She seemed to relax following that compliment.
今5歳なんだ。夜更かしばっかりして大変なの。
That's okay. I can just chat with your father for a bit, right?
わかったよ。一緒に帰ろう。今日もまた浅井くんと一緒です。嬉しいな。
I'll certainly be busy.
おい、京介。今日は部活にしようぜ。
Geez, even I'm already sick of that crap.
冷てえ野郎だな。んだよ。そんなに椿と一緒にいたいか?
Whatever. Shouldn't you be finding a new woman right now?
闇討ちしてやる。椿じゃなくてお前をボッコにしてやる。椿の前で大恥かかせてやる。
いや、待て待て。そしたらそれをきっかけに椿との仲が進展したりして。ちくしょう、どっちに転んでも OK 牧場博多駅前してってやつじゃねえか。
I ignored HE and checked my cell phone instead. Headache. Headache. Kanon's not at school today. She has training. Things sure are quiet around here. School ended. Tsubaki and I melted into the swarms of students leaving school.
今日は栄一くんとおはるちゃんは来ないんだよね。
Oharu-chan? I'm curious about this new nickname.
さすがに勇者っていうのもどうかと思うし、かといっていつまでも宇佐美さんって呼ぶのも嫌だったの。
Even so, isn't Oharu-chan a bit weird?
そうかな。可愛くない？
It sounds like something from one of those Chicken Soup for the Soul books.
私毎朝それ録画してるよ。
I continued to engage in the idle prattle of a schoolboy as we walked along. I think Usami-san went to the faculty office.
職員室？
Tsubaki looked concerned. I think it was something about not having permission for her part-time job.
怒られてるのかな？
I'd imagine so. It's against the rules to work without the leave of the school.
本当に許可もらってなかったのかな？
I guess I can't say for sure, but that's what the teacher said. Tsubaki came to a sudden halt.
私ちょっと職員室行ってくる。
Huh? Why?
誤解だと思うから。
What's she doing? She's helping the person she considers her friend. That's probably a very foreign notion for you. Even so, what are you going to do about it?
私クラス委員だし、
So?
お友達だし。
Yeah, so?
おはるちゃんって変わってるけど、きっと最低限の常識は持ち合わせているはずだよ。
Oh, Bancho. What's the profit? He cannot fathom a situation where someone comes to someone else's aid without getting a profit out of it. I feel like in some way Tsubaki is gonna school him on that. I repeat, so what? She shrank back a bit.
何か力になれるかもしれない。
Wait a second. Tsubaki ran down the hallway. I waited about half an hour in front of the office. This isn't anything but a waste of time. Her friend, huh? What does Tsubaki even know about Usami?
いや、助かった。礼を言うぞ、椿。
It seemed Usami had been released unharmed.
よかったね。誤解が解けて。椿のおかげだ。
What happened?
椿がいきなり説教食らってる私と先生の間に割って入ったんすよ。
And then?
おはるちゃんは悪くないですって。
I bet that came as a shock.
いや、私も先生もいろいろ混乱しました。つうか、おはるちゃんってなんだ？あだ名だよ。可愛いでしょ？却下だ。
却下。
もう日記に書いちゃったよ。
Oh, this is adorable. Her face.
とにかく混乱している私たちに追い打ちをかけるように椿はまくし立てました。ごめんね、私も慌ててたみたい。なんやかんやあって結局アルバイト許可証が見つかって誤解が解けたんすよね。
Wow, nice work, Tsubaki. Yet Tsubaki just smiled as if she hadn't done anything.
私も勇者様のお役に立てて嬉しいよ。
I just did what anyone would have done. Was written on her face. She looked neither proud nor displeased.
私はすごい嬉しい。私が男だったらお前を監禁して毎晩めでてやるところだ。
Is that how we show your gratitude?
いずれ借りを返す。というわけで、バイトあるんで帰ります。じゃあね。
Usami quickly disappeared.
じゃあ、私たちも行こっか。
Yeah. These things happen, I guess. Tsubaki's frantic actions actually helped Usami. There was no calculation or self-interest involved. Yet, yes, these things happen, and it's very disconcerting. Why? Why is it disconcerting? Sorry, my hair is just a little bit uncomfortable over there. Okay. I was immediately surrounded by the family upon entering Tsubaki's house. Thank you for having me over yet again.
いやいや、構わんよ。毎日来なさい。うちが賑やかになっていい。
Haha, isn't it already more than lively enough? The kids are all very open.
お兄ちゃん遊んで。私が遊んでもないの。
They begged for my attention as they wrapped themselves around my legs.
いや、浅井くんのことはね、椿から聞いているんだよ。
お父さん。
椿ももう年頃なのに、彼氏の一つや二つもできんもんかと心配していたんだ。
だから彼氏じゃないってば。
親バカじゃないが、椿はしっかり者でね、弟たちの面倒ばかり見てて、自分のことはいつも二の次なんだ。
Yeah, I've noticed.
どうか娘をよくしてやってください。
He bowed slightly, emphasizing his trust with a kind smile. What kind of environment could produce such a kind-hearted girl as Tsubaki? I'd often pondered this question, but I felt I'd gotten a glimpse of the answer. By the way, sir, no time to dilly-dally. I'll cut straight to the matter at hand. I heard something about a dispute regarding your property. Tsubaki's father looked surprised.
あ、お父さん。浅井くんはね、そういうの詳しいんだって。なんでも、浅井くんのお父さんが偉い社長さんらしくて。
お父さんは何の会社を？
He dabbles in both finance and real estate.
立派な方だね。
I was thinking that maybe I could be of some help. Yes, I'm not officially an employee, but I help with that work a lot. A deep smile appeared on Tsubaki's father's face. He seemed to be a little dubious.
気持ちは嬉しいけど。
It's because of Bin Laden.
考えるよ。
The Sano Corporation is backing this development. He raised his eyebrows a bit upon hearing these words. I asked the broker familiar with the real estate around here, and it looks like the land in the Eastern District is being eaten up at high prices. The house and land alone would fetch a considerable sum, I'd imagine. That is, if you were willing to sell, of course. Taking the apple orchard into consideration, the price would likely skyrocket. I wouldn't expect the deal to be so difficult to stomach. Tsubaki's father then flashed a grave expression.
いや、すまない。椿と同じ年頃の子だと思って、浅井君を侮っていたようだ。
Okay, so the reason you won't sell this land is because of personal attachment, correct?
君の言う通りだよ。祖父の代から続いている土地でね。いくらお金を積まれたって出ていくわけにはいかないんだ。
Won't that be difficult? Huge companies like Sano are promoting the development tourism industry.
地上げ屋というのは面倒なもんだね。
Calling them land sharks makes them sound just terrible. Well, they are terrible, aren't they? Technically, they're city development professionals. Semantics. Nevertheless, because of the harassment and violence that took place during the bubble period, land sharks became the popular term for people whose jobs consist of driving others away from their land. That's perfectly fair.
昨日はまるでヤクザみたいなのが来たんだ。
To be honest, sir, I don't think they'll stop coming until you break.
そういうものなのかな。
Their tenacity is something not of this world.
何にせよ、うちを出ていくつもりはないよ。子供たちもいることだしね。
なにお父さん、帰ったの？
みんなこの家が好きだろう？
He practically jumped in the air as he nodded.
悪い人僕がやっつけるよ
Yeah, you'll show them, little guy. I should leave this matter for another time. I can convince him slowly.
さあさあ、そろそろご飯ですよ。
He's sniffing a whole load of copium over there. Tsubaki's mother brought food to the table.
ご飯
All 7 members of the family quickly got excited. Even Tsubaki joined in their noise-making. Just promise me that you'll let me help, for Tsubaki's sake. My father nodded in satisfaction. Thank you for dinner.
お粗末様でした美味しかった
Although her mom did most of the cooking, Tsubaki made one dish. Yeah, the miso soup was excellent. I rarely get to eat like this.
浅井くんリッチだもんねいつも高そうなものを食べてるのかな
That's not true. I don't spend a lot on food, but I often eat out for business reasons.
ひろあきは
Yeah, but eating out does not compare with a homemade warm dinner. One of Tsubaki's sisters suddenly latched onto her hand. I glanced around, but Hiroaki was nowhere to be found.
トイレかな
Should I go look?
ひろあき
Oh no. Did he, like, slip away or something? She yelled. No response.
まさか、またか。
Oh. Oh, this happened before. Again. Tsubaki followed her father's example and murmured something similar.
外かな見てくる
This is certainly a tense situation. What's going on? I followed her out. The cold night air brushed against my skin. Oh, her coat is so cute! And blue, I love it. Tsubaki, what's this about? Tsubaki had an overcoat on, and her breath misted into the air.
ひろあきねいたずらっ子なの
Oh, okay. Pranks.
突然いなくなったりして私たちを驚かそうとするの
You mean he's done this before?
前もね夜中にいきなり家を飛び出して大騒ぎになったことあるの
Ah, what a kid. What an energetic kid. He's such an overt troublemaker that I'd say he's downright brave.
怖いもの知らずな性格ではあるんだけどね
He'll grow up to be a great man. I spoke in a joking manner.
とにかく
Manner.
探さなきゃ
Sorry. Where?
と
She couldn't even begin to guess. I should help her out. Only for the sake of gaining her trust, of course. You said he's done this before, right?
うん
Your brother, Hiroaki-kun, right? Where did you find him before?
近くの公園だけど
Then let's try searching there first. Obviously, it's unnerving to have a 5-year-old brother walking around outside at this time of night. Nighttime in the Eastern District was so quiet that it was creepy.
ひろあき
She yelled at the top of her lungs into the cold night sky. We get a better view at her coat. It is even cuter seeing the bottom half. Super cute.
隠れてないで出てきてよ
We're probably disrupting the neighborhood. Thankfully, the residences here aren't crowded together. I also yelled. Hey, your big sister Tsubaki is looking for you. Of course, if his goal is to scare us, he's probably hiding. I doubt he'll come out no matter how much we shout. Frightening his family and wanting them to care about him are two sides of the same coin.
どうしようどこ
Oh,
行っちゃったん
Lord.
だろう
If my kid does this to me someday... oh, God. Just the hypothetical of it is making my heart race. Maybe we should call Eichi. What would Eichi do?
H 君
Yeah, I took out my cell phone.
いいよ浅井君だけでも迷惑なのに
Don't worry about it. I called him. He didn't pick up right away.
なんだよ、椿に振られたか
Oh gosh, he seems somewhat jovial. Huh?
いや、慰めてほしいわけだろ。こんな時間に電話してくるってことはよ。ったく、京介ちゃんはマジ俺がいないと何にもできねえな。
It would be a pain to explain everything. I'm sorry, son, but your living privileges are therefore revoked. Oh gosh. Oh, so cool. Anyways, can you come over here? I'm still at the Eastern District's park. Yeah, that one. Thanks, man. I hung up To the end, Eiichi couldn't hold back his sinister laugh. He said he'll be here momentarily.
本当？悪いな。H 君も優しいな。
It's okay. You're really worried about your brother, aren't you? I could tell just by looking at her. The night turned colder.
ひろあきと今日遊ぼうって。
I see. He thought he'd get to play with his sister, so when I came home with you, he started sulking.
浅井君は悪くないよ。ごめんね。気を使ってもらって。
Tsubaki bothered to thank me for my thoughts. Well, we know the kinds of places kids can hide. Let's keep looking. We split up to search the area. It's been half an hour since we left the house. We haven't found anything after searching the entire park. Let's go back. I suggested this and gauged Tsubaki's reaction. Maybe Hiroaki already went home. In fact, if we just waited, don't you think he'd come back for sure?
必ず？
Well, a 5-year-old kid isn't going to stay out all night.
でも危ない目に遭ってるかも。
Dangerous situation? Surely not. You mean like getting I didn't finish saying the word kidnapped. It would be inappropriate even as a joke. It is nighttime. He might catch a cold.
もうひろあきったら。
Because it's so dark, I can't see clearly, but I can tell that Tsubaki's coat is smeared in dirt from the park. No, not that pretty coat. By the lake, the sandlot, the plants. She looked everywhere desperately, meticulously. Let's go back. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Yeah, I was about to say, weren't you waiting for Eiichi to come to the park?
H 君は
Yeah.
うちに来てくれるの？
Oh yeah, that's it. I mean Eiichi, yeah, I guess he should be here any minute now. At that moment, a person appeared at the park entrance. Even though he's pretty short, he's still way too tall to be Hiroaki.
やどうしたの二人で。
Oh, you're finally here.
ごめんね、寒いのに。
Why? Eiichi glanced at me.
どうしたのかな二人仲良さそうじゃない。おいおいなんだよこれどうなっちゃってんの京介ちゃんよ。お前が振られたっていう展開じゃねえの？
You never said that. You just imagined everything. You had a fever dream on the phone. Tsubaki's younger brother has gone missing.
そうなんだ。ありがとう、H 君。わざわざ来てもらっちゃって。
ああざけんなよんな話聞いてねえっつう。
Sorry, I told her you'd help us look for him.
僕は、ありがとう。
当然だよねお友達なんだし。ちくしょう気をつけてめ話がちげえじゃねえか。
Hey, it was your misunderstanding. You jumped the gun. The three of us headed back toward the house. On the way back, we looked through fields by the roadside and behind telephone poles. Still, we never found Hiroaki. This isn't good.
うぜマジうぜなんで俺ちゃんがガキなんか探さなきゃなんねえんだよ。
For reasons I don't understand, only I can hear the voice of Eiichi's heart.
サミマジサミ冬ムカつくマジ殺す冬殺すサミ
You okay, Eiichi?
これやべえよマジやべえよ俺ちゃんがこんな苦労を味わわされるなんてよ。
Oh, you poor little thing. Huh. Didn't you just show up? Tsubaki and I have been out here for a while
あれ
now.
よそのヒロアキってガキンチを見つけ出したら俺マジやべえよマジ大人をからかった罪っつうの人生の厳しさ教えちゃうよ。
You mean you're gonna teach him a lesson, not learn him a lesson? But okay. Even though I never asked him to do much, Eiichi is getting pretty angry. At that moment, Tsubaki let out a small yell.
Hiroaki?
He suddenly appeared from behind the fence.
びっくりした？
Oh god. Oh god. That's the smile of a prankster.
ヒロアキ。
The tension visibly eased off of Tsubaki.
ずっとここに隠れてたんだよ。もう。姉ちゃんたちが家を出てくのも見えたんだけど、隠れてたの。
He showed no sign of thinking what he did was wrong.
どう？わかんなかったでしょ？
Even for a child, that was a bit too much. Forget about me for a moment. Tsubaki was seriously worried the whole time.
楽しかった。
Uh-huh. Tsubaki fell to her knees in front of her brother as he stretched. They looked at each other.
ヒロアキ？どうしたのお姉ちゃん？
I thought that she was going to scold him. No, I anticipated it. To personally witness a different side of the ever-smiling Tsubaki.
よかったよ。
Yeah, she doesn't have it in her heart to be mean to him, but someone needs to have a proper conversation with the little dude. Somebody's living privileges are about to be revoked. Yeah, I guess so, but geez. With just those words, she wrapped both her arms around her brother. I peeked at the side of Tsubaki's face. There was nothing but the expression of a sister, happy to see her brother safe and
本
sound.
当に。
She smiled happily again as if to reassure her
姉
brother.
ちゃん、僕をたくさん探した？うん。寒かった？平気だったよ。ヒロアキは？僕は寒くなかった。もう眠いよ。そっか。じゃあ、一緒に寝ようか。うん、やった！
Tsubaki stood up and pulled her brother's hand. Hey, Tsubaki. I can't condone this. This will just make Hiroaki do it again. Just as I was about to say this, Hiroaki spoke.
ごめんね、お姉ちゃん。
Rosa would have done this a bit differently. That's one extreme, right? The other one is to just be relieved and not do anything about it either, right? Neither of them are good. At least he's apologizing, but jeez.
もうしないよ。
Uh-huh.
そう？うん、しない。絶対しない。
Okay. What exactly brought this on?
だってお姉ちゃん優しいんだもん。
It looked as if there was an aura of strength emanating from the siblings' joined palms.
二人とも、ごめんね。ありがとう。
No problem. I was uncomfortable. I just stood in the doorway like an idiot. After being shown the family's harmony, I could only stand there, purposeless.
ちょっと
Eiichi was the one who broke the silence.
嘘！俺何しに来たの？っていうかマジ寒いんですけど。
Looks like he finally took off the good little boy mask he wears at school.
ごめんね。H 君、ご飯でも食べていく？
ご飯？
肉じゃがだけど。
え、マジ肉じゃが？嘘。いいじゃん。僕肉じゃが大好き。甘いもんの次に大好き。
じゃあ入って。
When in doubt, bribe him with food. I guess that's the lesson from there. I'll be going home. I turned around.
お茶でも飲んでいかない？
No, I have an errand I need to
お
run.
風呂入っていかない？
No, I mean it. I'm alright.
ごめんね。きっちりとお礼したくて。
Are baths something that you offer your guests? I know that Japanese people are big on baths and they have like a whole ritualistic thing almost going on about it. But would you offer it to a guest in your house? Okay. It's nothing. See you tomorrow. I started walking away. I didn't feel the cold winter wind. This must be what they call an overheated mind. I started thinking seriously about how to push this family into selling. Ay. Oh, here we are. I need to hide myself. The wind tonight is cold enough to pierce through one's skin. Kidnapping. A crime said to be one of the most despicable. However, which crime isn't despicable? Maou fully understands that the action he's about to take is a sin. His people had already done a background check. He found the answer. The reason Miyatsubaki's family won't sell their land has nothing to do with money. That land has been in her family since the First World War. Her father is very stubborn. There was no telling how much time it would take using conventional methods to get him to sell. And even if they did take the time out to try, it was doubtful that the result would be a desirable one. This isn't a financial problem, but even so, there's a financial loophole. There are indeed many times when money cannot solve matters. Maou must at least admit that. There are emotions, love, family, certain kinds of pride. Things that are more important than money to many. However, even for these exceptions, there's always a way to convert such things to something more fiscal. Mao's plot is to transform this issue from an emotional one into an economic one. That plot took on the shape of a crime in perfect form.
あとは宇佐美がどう動くか。
He left that place with the faint stride of an evil spirit. What does that mean? How is Usami involved in this topic though? Alright, I can be back. The next day I went to Dr. Akimoto's clinic.
やあ、京介くん。おはよ
Will we ever have a stream without any of these? Ugh, God, alright. Yeah, Mr. Blueberry. It's a good nickname though, don't you think? I like it. The counseling room is clean and Akimoto is smiling like the Buddha, as always. Good morning. I hope that our hour today is
う。わかってるよ。学園もあるだろうしね。
I won't be showing up until this afternoon though.
さて、前回はどんな話をしていたっけ？
We were talking about my childhood.
よく覚えてるね。いや、失礼。前回の最後にも、君のことを忘れっぽい性格だなんて言ってしまったね。
Is that so? I don't remember, and it doesn't bother me. Ironic.
覚えてない？
What about it? I smiled slightly. Surely you aren't implying that I'm suffering from some form of memory illness.
いやいや、安心して。君が診察料を払い忘れたことはないよ。
Yeah, then that would have been a problem. That's a relief. This doctor is pretty good with words.
今回聞いてみたいのはね、京介くん。
His pudgy round face closed in slightly.
君のお父さんのことなんだ。
You mean Azai Gonzo? It feels like he's talking about someone else.
実のお父さんだよ。
Oh. His round blue face. Suddenly my stomach started to ache. He was a trading company employee. Although he was deep in debt, he was always a wonderful father in my mind.
なるほど。
Otherwise, there's nothing much to say. I turned away from Dr. Akimoto.
亡くなっているのかな？
Gonzo hasn't told you? Gonzo was the one who introduced me to Dr. Akimoto.
何も？
He looked long and hard at me. Anyway, would you mind if we change the subject? I don't want to remember these things. I definitely don't want to remember these things. That is a door I've always locked tightly.
それだけ嫌な出来事があったんだね。
Dr. Akimoto, please change the subject. Good lord. I never once asked for any real therapy sessions from you. I just need a doctor's note so the school will excuse my absences. That's why I cough up the money to uphold these farcical conversations. I mean, it seems like he's actually trying to help you, and they're only farcical on your side, but okay.
京介くん、君にやる気がなくても、私はいつも本気なんだよ。仕事だからね。
He spoke almost as if he could see right through me.
遊びじゃないんだよ。ね?
At that moment, a proverb sprang into my mind. You can't judge a book by its cover. There was something important that I was forgetting. That's right, you're an acquaintance of Gonzo after all. For a moment I saw the expression of a wild boar in that pudgy face, gazing sharply at me.
君に何の異常もないというのなら、すぐにも通うのをやめてもらう。重ねて言うが、私だって仕事なんだよ。時間は貴重だ。君ならわかるね。
Interesting. I like that he's drawing that boundary. In other words, Dr. Akimoto, you suspect that there might actually be something wrong with me? Akimoto shook his head in a vague manner. He never answered that question. Never mind. We were talking about my biological father, is that right?
名前を聞いてもいいかな。
Toshikatsu. I purposefully let out his family name.
商社に勤めていらっしゃったと。
In the Sano Corporation. Whenever people hear of someone working at Sano, they immediately get the impression of a great and well-educated man. This impression isn't mistaken.
じゃあ転勤が多かったんじゃないかな。海外とか行ったかい？
No, not very often. Well, not from what I can remember anyway. I'm pretty sure he was an accountant in the main branch.
そっか。君はちょっと普通のことは違うから帰国子女なのかと思ったよ。
I chuckled and shook my
と
head.
ころで、君のお父さんは商社に勤めていて、どうして借金を？
I believe he wanted to build his dream house. That was supposed to be a joke.
偏見かもしれないが、山王物産の経理をしていたような方が、マイホームを持つのに消費者金融を頼るとは思えないよ。
Dr. Akimoto is exactly right. And in order to pay for his debt, father had to get his hands on dirty money. He was swindled.
騙された。
You know, swindled by his trusted friend and ended up becoming his guarantor. Oh. Dr. Akimoto gulped when he heard
ちょっと
this.
待ってくれないか。
It seems he figured it out.
君のお父さんというの。
An expression of fear and awe spread across
ひょ
his
っと
face.
して、
That's right.
年勝と言ったね。
I was aware that my heart was rapidly becoming cold. Yes, he is that Samejima Toshikatsu. Not sure. Probably the name is connected to something that we haven't heard of yet. After that, time seemed to pass in an instant. Dr. Akimoto didn't say a word afterward. He just closed his eyes. After leaving the room, I finally calmed down. I headed for school. Upon arriving at school, Kanoni immediately began to pester me. It seemed that she'd been absent from school for a while due to a training camp. Oh, what is it?
みんなも聞いて。なんすか？何かな？
She threw her chin up into the air as if to herald her bragging.
のんちゃんね、今度テレビ出るよ。
Okay.
わあ、すごーい。いつ？生放送だよ。いつ？ゲスト出演するの。だからいつなの？24時間ぶっ続け生テレビっていう番組だよ。
だから俺の話を聞けよ、ノア。
Oh my god. Hey, not bad. If you're invited to be a guest on that program, then it means you've really made it big.
どんなことするの？セントラル街でね、夜中ね、マラソンしてる人に応援するんだって。
That night?
ちょうどのんちゃんのいるところがマラソンの休憩地点みたいで、のんちゃんがお水とか渡すの。
Is that so? Then a lot of people will show up to see that, won't they? When people gather, money gathers. That's great, Canon.
やったー、兄さんに褒められた。
Usami was the next to speak.
自分もテレビ経験あるんすよね。
Huh? Oh, that's interesting.
へえ、本当？
No, it's an obvious load of bull. As what? Some gloomy character on a comedy
い
show?
えいえ、アーティストとして。
Oh,
芸人？いわゆる一つの芸人ですね。
so it really was one of those comedy shows.
まあ、私の話はいいじゃないですか。
Aren't you the one who brought this up?
うさみん面白いな。お笑い芸人さんだったんだね。みんなすごいな。私だけ特に目立った活動とかしてないけど、私はそれでいいんです。
Lunch break ended on this strange, absurd note. What even was that? I dashed out of the classroom right as the bell rang. I was weaving my way through the students as I spoke over the phone. Yes, this is Azai Kyosuke. I'm heading over there right now. I need to talk with Sano Corporation's developers. I really don't want to meet with them face to face, but given that the situation still hasn't been settled after all this time, I have to at least apologize in person.
浅井くん。
I heard Tsubaki's voice. I ignored her and continued my phone call. Oh, a bit late. I see. No, it's okay. Looks like I still have some time before the meeting. So Tsubaki had great timing.
浅井くん、ちょっと遊んでいかない？
After saying goodbye, I turned off my cell phone and turned toward Tsubaki. It should be okay if it's only for an hour or so. How about Central Boulevard? She nodded like a little kid.
昨日のお礼がしたかったんだよ。
Yesterday?
ひろあき、探してくれたでしょ？
Oh, right. That was nothing.
変な浅井くん。
We headed for Central Boulevard. Central Boulevard is always crowded around dusk. So how do you plan to repay me?
クラシックの CD とかどうかなと。
Oh, a gift.
何がいいかな？
Thank you for your gesture, but... oh,
ああ、それもそうだね。浅井くん、クラシック通だもんね。
sorry, I scrolled too fast. So, thank you for your gesture, but I already own all the CDs I want. A fanatic? Me? Well, I wouldn't go that far. If I called myself a fanatic, I'd offend the true fanatics.
別にマニアとか言ってないんだけどな。
Yeah, I was about to say, she didn't say that. You really do love classical music after all. And his reaction is, oh, you called me a fanatic. She didn't say that. Oh, wait a minute, perhaps that will be coming out soon.
あれ？
A CD by a favorite musician of mine. Although she's taking a break from music, a publishing company is still releasing her CDs. Oh, sorry. When a company has copyright to the music, even if the musicians no longer play, they can still repackage and re-release their works.
何の楽器？
The violin. Oh.
へえ、バイオリンなんだ。
No, not violin. Violin. It's a V.
ごめん。
Her interpretation of air is my favorite.
エールって言うと？
Air on the G string. It's so moving that it brings tears to my eyes. Recently, I hear it's been used as a requiem. Oh, I can see why though. I can see why too. I wouldn't mind resting in peace if I got to do so to that song.
G-senjouのアリアって鎮魂歌なの？
Well, not really, but hey, you remember that big terrorist attack in America a while back? It was used during that.
へえ、知らなかった。
Anyway, I'm really looking forward to it.
楽しそうだね。
Yeah.
楽しそうだね。
Why did you say that twice?
浅井くん、クラシックの話になると生き生きするね。
Well, maybe.
浅井くんが楽しそうだと、なんだか私も嬉しいよ。
I see. She really can spout some corny things, and so naturally at that. Anyway, don't bother buying me a CD. Why don't you just treat me to a cup of coffee? You don't have any part-time jobs, do you?
そうだよ。
What about an allowance? I looked at the coffee sitting in front of me. The coffee Tsubaki paid for.
うちってそんなに裕福なわけじゃないからね。
So have you been saving your money?
夏休みとお正月にアルバイトしてたんだよ。それでなんとかやりくりしてるの。
You don't work during the semester?
弟を保育園に迎えに行ったりするからね。アルバイトしている暇はないかな。
I see. That's why you went home so quickly at that other time. I'm pretty sure this is the second time I've had coffee with Tsubaki. Last time we just chatted for a little bit before parting.
今日ももう少ししたら帰るね。
To Hiroaki's kindergarten? Tsubaki nodded. I decided to use this opportunity to get some information. Well, you have quite a large family, right?
そうだね。びっくりしたでしょ。
What about family expenses? Your budget's generally pretty tight, huh?
どうかな。苦労したことはないけど。
I put on a gentle face. You know, I heard something from an acquaintance in real estate.
うん。
Your family's land is situated right in the middle of a market hotspot right now. Your folks might as well be sitting on a gold mine.
そうらしいね。
And don't take this the wrong way, but if your dad decided to sell, there are supposedly people willing to pay for your move and the first month's rent at your new house. Tsubaki remained silent. I shouldn't push her too quickly. Sorry, you probably don't want to move, do you?
心配してくれてるんだよね。
Well, the reality is they're backed by Sano. The local government seems to be cooperating with them in the development of this tourist attraction as well. Things might get hairy if you keep rejecting their offers.
うちの近くの景色もどんどん変わってるもんね。ご近所さんもかなりいなくなっちゃったみたい。
Well, while the term land sharks does sound bad, they're thinking about what's best for everyone. No, they're thinking about what's best for themselves. What? Those moving out as well as those developing. No, they're not thinking about those moving out. They're only thinking about them when they're there, and once they're out, they don't care.
うん。スキー場の周りに遊園地とかできたら、町の人も喜ぶもんね。
Although those developing the land benefit far more than those people who are pushed into selling their family land.
ひょっとして大きな目で見たら、うちがわがまましてるってことになるのかな。
I wouldn't go that far. That's exactly what I'm saying. Oh god, oh god.
でもね、浅井くん、
Tsubaki's eyes were huge.
私はお父さんの意見に従うんだよ。
I could almost feel her passion.
だって家族だもの。
Before my eyes were her true intentions, doubtless, unwavering, and stripped bare.
お父さんはたとえあの辺でうちだけが取り残されても出ていかないと思うな。私、そういうお父さんを応援したいの。
In other words, even if I get Tsubaki on my side, it is to no avail. She'll choose her family over her lover. You're not her lover, though. I see. You and your father are really close, aren't you?
大好きだよ。
Of all the youths fooling around this time of night on Central Boulevard, how many would say with a serious face that they love their fathers? You and your dad must share a lot of fond memories or something.
思い出？
You know what I mean. Beautiful stories, maybe? Like, oh, when I was little, I got lost on the mountain and my dad searched for me day and night, that sort of thing. Tsubaki chuckled.
特にないよ。全然普通だよ。家族でちょっとおしゃれなレストランに食事したり、みんなでリンゴ取ったりしたくらいかな。
She's so precious. That's it?
美談か。そういうのなくても、お父さんは大好きだよ。
It's the little everyday things. Really, you don't need like a special, big deal kind of story. There's always been something that I didn't like about Tsubaki, but now I knew what it was. She's too perfect. She's too good of a person. We must hate her for that. It had irked me when she ran to help Usami. Tsubaki trusts her friends just because they're her friends. Tsubaki trusts her family just because they're her family. Yeah, as one normally does. Just like me? Oh, no. Oh, I'm far away. She's like mabushi, like super sparkly, bright, high up somewhere. I'm nowhere near that. So someone like me who doesn't trust anyone feels uncomfortable. Yeah, I mean, it does, you know, what's the expression? It like puts a mirror in front of all of your shortcomings. Yeah. I find myself wondering how someone like that could really exist.
あ、ごめん。そろそろ帰らなきゃ。
Wow, it's gotten pretty late.
昨日は本当にありがとう。これからもよろしくね。
The brightness of her smile irritated me somehow. Of course it did. Alright. Yeah, I think it's a good spot just for me to make a quick run to the bathroom. I'll be right back. There we go. Alright, after parting with Tsubaki, I immediately made a phone call. On the other end of the line is the person I was originally supposed to be visiting in person, Sano Corporation's developer. I'm terribly sorry. There was an emergency that I couldn't put off. Yes, I understand. I'll make it happen. Yes. I was in a horrible mood. Oh, okay. More Mao. The daylight hours were very short today. The sky had already turned a shade of violet, and the streets in the eastern district would soon become the night. Would soon welcome the night. Dusk is the time of day when people are least on their guard. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. This might also hold true for children.
Moya, konnichiwa.
Oh no. Mao had prepared a mask specifically for this occasion and disguised his voice along with his face. The child showed no suspicion. He walked over to Mao. There was absolutely no one around. This sidewalk was near the park, on a lightly traveled pedestrian path. Overgrown Zilkova trees, unkempt by the city, gave respite from prying eyes. Due to its distance from the center of Tomanbetsu City, few people ever came here. That said, if someone suddenly showed up, he would abort his plan. After all, as he stood there now, Mao looked incredibly conspicuous. Eh? The child showed much interest in Mao's horse mask. Mao bent to his knees and spoke. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Sure he is. At that moment, the boy showed a bright, innocent smile.
助けるよ。困ってる人は助けなきゃいけないってお姉ちゃんが言ってたんだ。
そう、ありがとう。いいお姉ちゃんだね。
どこに行きたいの？
美和さんの家に行きたいんだ。
美和？
うん。知らないかな？
The boy's big eyes grew even bigger.
美和って僕のお家だよ。
Under his mask, Mao widened his eyes as if he was surprised.
案内してもらえないかな？
いいよ。
The boy warms easily to strangers. He hasn't learned yet to distrust others.
車なんだけど、乗ってもらえるかな？
What is he doing alone, though? Like... He said he wouldn't run away again, right? Then, for what reason would he be alone around the park? I wouldn't imagine his family would allow him to just go out by himself. So, did he break his promise? What happened here? Mao turned around and pointed to a white sedan he had parked there earlier.
お馬さんなのに車なの？
The horse needs a car. He tilted his little head skeptically. Oh, children logic. Surely even a Miwa child at his age has been told not to get into a stranger's car. Mao quickly thought of something.
お馬さん怪我してるんだ。だから自分の足で歩けないんだ。
大丈夫？
No, gosh.
坊やに案内してもらえればきっと大丈夫だよ。
わかった。僕頑張るね。
He immediately ran toward the car. When Mao opened the door, he promptly jumped into the back seat. Mao followed the boy inside and sat beside him. Another man sits in the driver's seat. He's not Japanese. He's a foreign criminal specifically hired for this particular plan. Oh my god, oh my god. I'm feeling sick to my stomach just reading this. Even if the police catch him, he'll simply be extradited. That's why these troublemaking foreigners make the perfect accomplices for a crime such as tonight's. Give him money, tell him what he needs to do, and then tell him to go back home. Preparations have already been made for him to stow away somewhere. Because he doesn't know much Japanese, he can't leak the plan by talking too much. The chance that the driver will reveal the identity of Mao to the police is 0. The door closed. Mao continued to inspect the surroundings carefully to confirm that there were no witnesses. The more bungling kidnappers end up getting caught because they didn't take care in this first dangerous step. One cannot underestimate the missing person search capabilities of the police. A top detective will search every nook and cranny, ask every possible eyewitness until he finds a lead. Having a witness to the crime is basically forfeiting the match from the very beginning. He absolutely must not have a single person witness what has occurred here. No pedestrians passed by. There were also no residences around here, so there was no chance that someone may have seen it through a nearby window. Mao quickly checked in every direction to make sure everything was clear.
Go.
With absolute confidence, he gave an order in English. The car quietly moved forward.
ねえ、どこ行くの？僕んちはあっちだよ。
The boy got up in his seat. He put one hand on Mao's knees while pointing out the window. The boy's slender neck was right in front of Mao's eyes. Mao took out a piece of white cloth from his pants pocket. He slowly unfolded it until the cloth covered his entire right hand. There was no drug like ether or chloroform on that piece of cloth.
Hiroaki-kun.
For the first time, he called the boy by name.
どうしてお馬さんが僕の名前を知って？
Mao reached out his hand. The boy could not finish his question. Mao aimed for his neck, specifically the left and right carotid arteries. With the speed of a spider, his thumb and middle finger pinched down. He didn't want to cause any unnecessary pain. It was only a few seconds until the boy lost consciousness. Mao had been prepared for incontinence, but the child only foamed at the mouth a bit. After wiping everything clean, the only thing remaining was a 5-year-old boy sleeping peacefully. The purpose of the cloth was to prevent any of the boy's DNA from getting underneath his fingernails. Of course, to be extra certain, he'll take a shower tonight and burn the clothes he wore today. He didn't want to leave even a single strand of hair. This is an absolute precaution against any potential police investigation later on. Unlikely as it is for one to occur in the first place. His was a pathological caution. But without such caution, he'd never complete the perfect crime.
いい子だ。
He spoke to himself. Night fell. The streetlights shone into the car, helplessly streaming onto the boy's innocent face. 10 o'clock at night. For now, the boy is resting in a condemned building in the suburbs for safekeeping. It was a decrepit hospital. The locals won't go near the place. Even the homeless won't touch the building this time of the year. This knowledge is the result of thorough investigation. No matter how much the boy screams and cries, no one will come. It's a splendid building for kidnappers. Of course, to prevent him from escaping, all the locks must be secured. The door to the boy's room is made so that it cannot be opened from the inside. Inside the room are 3 blankets and plenty of food and water. There's also a heater set at a comfortable temperature. Though he'll need better care before too long, he can be left alone for now without fear of him dying. Oh, Lord. Mao entered the next phase of his plan and headed toward the Southern District's residential area. He strolled alone through the streets of the quiet, affluent area. The goal of a kidnapper is to receive a ransom. Mao knew the basics of his plan. He was now inspecting the locale, making sure there were no holes in his strategy. On the whole, there seemed to be no problems. Feeling satisfied, he started for the nearest subway station. Staying there too long may cause people to find him suspicious. The Southern District is a well-to-do area, so there are bound to be many policemen patrolling the streets. Suddenly a voice came from the sky.
Azai-kun?
He instinctively looked up. It came from the top floor of a huge 3-story mansion. Leaning on the rail of her balcony, a young woman stood alone. He looked at the gate's nameplate. Shiratori, of course. This house belonged to the owner of a local development company and the director of Jiugasaki.
こんな時間に何をしているの？
Although he couldn't see the girl's expression clearly, her tone showed transparent hostility and disdain. Maou was forced to quickly make a decision. Should he answer her, or simply ignore her and walk away? After a moment's hesitation, Maou lowered his head and spoke.
誰かと間違えていないか？
He spoke only those words and walked away.
ちょっと待ちなさい。
Her voice echoed in the empty streets. It would be problematic if people began to congregate. He quickly left the vicinity of the Shiratori household. Azai. With that name in his ears, Mao's heart sank into a deep darkness. His head throbbed in agony. After getting off the subway and arriving at the business district, he still hadn't found his calm. It felt as though a blizzard had frozen the darkness within his heart.
浅いではない。
Unforgivable. Azai Gonzo, he pushed Mother over the edge. He sought out a family deep in debt and made their life a living hell. Many times Mao had told himself, I am Samejima Toshikatsu's son. He felt the pressing desire to kill a certain someone who bore the name Azai. The pedestrians who approached Mao quickly moved out of his way, unable to meet his gaze. He remembers his father. He remembers the father whose name, Samejima Toshikatsu, would raise the eyebrows of anyone who heard it. Mao once swore before his father to wash away the humiliation forced on him. Mao is willing to drench his hands in blood to fulfill this oath. He will not allow anyone to stop him. Not the police, not the Yakuza, not that one hero. None of them will stand in his way.
見つかるものか。
He is no longer that weak child. Now he has true power. Now he has money. The proof? No one had noticed. Still, no one knows that I am Mao. Oof. Big reveal moment, I guess. I guess I can also reveal myself. There we go. I gazed upon the night sky. The time for battle has come. I reached out for the sky. Higher and higher, 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 as if wishing to clutch and shatter the moon. The pain in my skull still hasn't subsided. The music is pretty dope though. It's as if I have another being inside me, a being that's trying to interfere with my movements. Yeah, I had wondered about that since the beginning, to be honest. But I wasn't sure because there were a few things that kind of like felt like they didn't truly fit. But then there would be things that really fit, and I would be like, no, it has to be him. I just, gave it space for both to be possible. I did not expect them to actually confirm it this early. But anyway, nevertheless, I have ways to ease this headache. I plan my revenge. Battle, capture, win. These thoughts quickly brighten my mood. At the moment, my primary objective is to see this kidnapping through to a successful conclusion. This is a perfect plan. It's so flawless that you can call the fail-safe measures redundant. The only thing left is to boldly execute the plan without hesitation. I immediately dialed the number on the phone. It's already midnight. It wouldn't be strange for a normal family to be asleep at this time. After 3 rings, someone quietly picked up the phone. I could tell from her voice that she wasn't in her normal state of mind. Obviously, the reason for Tsubaki's nervousness stemmed from the fact that her brother still hadn't come home yet. She might be crying. I just dragged an innocent family into the depths of hell. Yeah, you did. Kinda like your own family was dragged into the depths of hell, hmm? Is that not truly the role of the devil? As Tsubaki was on the verge of a nervous breakdown, I chose the right tone before I slowly began. There is a right tone to choose in this situation? The boy is in my hands. If you don't want him to die, follow my instructions. Although it's rather cliché, do not contact the police. Hi, ay, 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 ay. Yeah. Okay. It's morning already. I wasn't getting anything done last night because of a splitting headache, so I went straight to bed and slept until now. Well, it was a good night's sleep. See, this is one thing that I had in mind that I was wondering about from the beginning. Is this kind of like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of situation? Like, does he actually have episodes that he does not remember? And so, like, his whole memory thing is relevant? I don't know. For the first time in a while, I soaked in a nice rejuvenating bath, washed the laundry that had piled up, and did other everyday chores I hardly ever do. Yeah, we're all so sprightly and just vivacious and happy in the morning, doing chores, and yeah, well, a child is kidnapped and his family is like, yeah. Only one person can figure it out. Okay. What a refreshing morning. All those muddied... yeah. I was thinking you would say that, Mr. Blueberry, yes. He's onto it. He's onto it. All those muddied thoughts have completely disappeared. And to think Dr. Akimoto says I may have a psychological disorder. How ridiculous. I'll go to school today. Oh, Kanon, what's up? Did you come to pick me up? Yeah, sure, sounds great. She came a half step closer. Well, maybe. Who knows? Because it seems I'll be able to cap off all the unfinished work soon. I finally made some headway in the purchase of the Eastern District's properties. Wait. Huh? Wait a minute, what headway? I was about to say! Do you know exactly what you mean by that? Apparently he does not. I've made no significant progress in that regard. I've gotten close to Tsubaki, I've even met her family, but I've hit the wall. I don't know where to go from here. Then again, I've infiltrated the family at least. I guess you could call that headway. Oh, sorry. I'm just not awake yet. We started walking together side by side. Are you an idiot? People would get the wrong idea. Come on, I don't think people would respond well to the idea of a brother and a sister dating. Well, shaking hands and holding hands are two different things. But this is Japan. Kanon kept sticking to me like a glue. What? Why the long face? Bucky! It took me a moment. We've just hung out a couple times. Huh? Still, what she says is true. I'm not really interested in her. It's not like she confessed to me or anything. Why should I worry about it? She is indeed a responsible person. Do they? Okay. Oh, jeez. Oh, come on. Everyone else just forces it on her.
よく知らないけど、ニコニコしながらやってるから、押し付けられてるってことはないんじゃないかな。
Wrong, sis. Someone like Tsubaki would smile even when forced to take care of someone else's responsibilities. Oh yeah, what about that thing about being on TV?
お、忘れっぽい兄さんにしては、よく覚えてるね。
When is it? I wouldn't want to miss it if I got some time around then.
あさってだよ。
Hey? Seriously? So soon?
なんか前々からずっとオファーは来てたんだって。のんちゃんが忘れてただけ。
It runs in the family. Hey, don't be such an airhead. The TV station has enough trouble as it is.
だってスケートリンクの偉い人が勝手に決めたんだもん。
So you don't want to do it?
これでまた人気者だよ。
What an innocent girl. I'll need to make more money so that she can stay innocent like this. After all, Kanon was only able to get into an expensive sport like figure skating because she had money. I brushed by Shiratori in the hallway.
Yeah.
Despite having never interacted much with Shiratori, Kanon waved her hand as if they were close friends. Morning, Shiratori.
おはよう、浅井くん。
How can a normal greeting suddenly turn into an icy showdown? You're really cold, you know that?
あなたこそ。
Huh?
昨日は無視したでしょ。
Yesterday?
覚えていないならいいわ。
Why is she so
どう
angry?
したの？
Nothing, it's just that Shiratori hates me now.
そうなの、白鳥ん。別に。
Did she say... yes, she did. She said Shiratorin.
兄さんいい人だよ。
Kanon only knows that I've been helping Gonzo with work. Not even in her wildest dreams would she suspect that said work would involve kicking Tsubaki's family out of their own home. Shiratori glared at Kanon.
そう。それでいいんじゃない？
After a while, she opened her mouth to speak.
それから、白鳥んとか、慣れ慣れしいこと言わないで。
Nezuri. Oh, that's cute. She made her exit.
いやー、見ているこっちがむずがゆくなるくらいの強気っぷりですね。
As if the timing was deliberate, Sami suddenly emerged from the classroom.
あれは、ひどいツンですよ。
Hidoitsun. For some reason, she nods her head.
のんちゃん怒らしちゃったのかな？
Don't worry about her. We entered the classroom.
ファンキーのプリン買えないよね。夕方に行くと並んでるからね。
Eiichi's doing the usual, flirting with a bunch of girls.
でも僕、お店の人と知り合いなんだ。
I wonder when the atmosphere for chill, stress-free high school morning will be broken by the fact that Tsubaki's brother is missing. They're all just frolicking and being cheery, and I just can't help but wonder what's up with her.
なになに？A ちゃんまた嘘ついてるのか？カノン。
A typical morning scene.
椿がいませんね。
She's not there, okay. Oh, she's right. It's rare to see her come in late. Wait, actually, as far as I remember, I don't think it's ever happened before.
浅井さんは忘れっぽいので信用なりませんが、確かに妙ですね。
Well, Tsubaki is only human, even she's late once in a while.
はあ。ただ自分、違和感があるとスルーしておけないたちなんすよね。
I lower my head and start to think.
みんな、私テレビ出るよ。
Kanon threw up her hands and made a commotion. We're between classes. I still don't see Tsubaki anywhere.
なあ、京介。椿は？
I've been wondering the same thing.
おいおい、てめえしらばっくれてんじゃねえよ。
Hmm?
どうせおめえが昨日遅くまで椿にギュッポギュッポしてたんだろうが。
What do you mean it's obvious? By what means is it obvious? Squeezing, what the hell does that even mean?
違うのか？
Of course I am. I may be a playboy, but I've never even touched her.
どうだかね。ちくしょう。俺もギュッポギュッポしたいぜ。
I swear to God, I have no idea how a human being could turn into a jackass like this kid. He's so different from Tsubaki. Then again, I probably shouldn't be talking about other people. At least a smidge of self-awareness is present.
アザイさん、
Usami comes out slowly.
今聞いてきたんすけど、椿無断で休んでるみたいです。
She didn't call in?
おかしくないっすか？
Indeed.
まったくだよね。一体誰のせいなんだろうね。
電話してみてもらえませんかね？
I don't have her phone number. Well, alright, that's a lie, I do have it. But Eiichi would make fun of me for it.
携帯も？
She doesn't carry a cell phone.
僕提案。
Spit it out then.
これから椿ちゃんの家に押しかけるっていうのはどう？
What about class? You think we should just skip? It's rare for me to come to school, so I'd like to finish the day.
ひとまず電話してみましょう。番号は先生に聞けばわかるはずです。
Are you sure you're not overreacting? Maybe she just overslept.
椿には借りがありますから。
A favor?
ええ、アルバイトの件で助けてもらいましたから。
Right. I guess she has a strong sense of obligation or something.
それにしても椿め、僧侶の分際で私の手を煩わせるなんて。もし何事もなかったら、ギュッポギュッポしてやる。
Okay. I'm not entirely sure what she's saying here. But alright.
じゃあギュッポギュッポと電話しよう。
What's with these punks? Do they just like saying the word squeezing? After getting the phone number from a teacher, I immediately call her. Oh, someone picked up. Right after the first ring, no less.
もしもし、三輪です。
I immediately noticed that something is
も
wrong.
しもし、もしもし。
Perhaps they heard Tsubaki's voice through the phone. Both Eiichi and Sami became grave. I quietly said, "It's Kyosuke. What happened?"
アザイくん、
By the time she responded, her voice seemed to have loosened up.
どうしたの？
I think that's my line. Why aren't you at school?
学園？
Huh?
学園？あ、そっか。今日、学園か。
She let out an immense sigh. What's going on? You sound like you've just been abducted by aliens.
ネテ吉さん、アザイさんの例えってギャグなのかそうでないのかよくわからない時がありますよね。
だよね。半滑りだよね。
Hey, stop chatting behind my back like that. What happened? I didn't have to ask, did something happen? It's obvious that something happened.
何が？
Don't play dumb, Tsubaki. When someone so well behaved with such great grades skips school without calling in, it's obvious that something happened.
椿ってクラス委員で生徒会長なんすよね。
Oh, is she?
そうだよ。たまにすごい忙しくしてる時あるから。
なんか真面目を絵に描いたような設定っすよね。なんか腹立つわ。
Tsubaki sighed again.
でもないよ。ちょっと風邪ひいてるの。
A cold? Then why didn't you call in sick?
それはたまたま。忘れてて。何話してんすかね。
気になるよね。
Hey, Tsubaki, are you hiding something?
隠し事してないよ。
The acting is so bad it makes me want to
これあ
cry.
れっすよね。これがギャグシーンだったら聴診器みたいのをアザイさんの携帯に当てることで自分も椿の声聞けますよね。
宇佐美さんってたまに頭悪いよね。
I lower my voice. Are you really okay?
平気。ごめんね。先生にはこれから連絡して謝っておく。
So we're back to square one. I see. So I guess you don't really trust me. Excuse me. Are we doing emotional blackmail now? I said this in a nonchalant manner. We're supposed to stick together in times of crisis, right? Why aren't you telling me anything? Are we not friends? Oh god. Oh. It's really quite simple. An innocent girl like Tsubaki can be easily shaken with words like trust and friendship. Please talk to me. We're close enough for that, aren't we? I can picture Tsubaki's pained and guilty look on the other end of the line. Good, Tsubaki, don't spill. A family matter. Her explanation made no sense to me. We've discussed your family matters before, haven't we? You had no problem talking about the possibility of having to move. In other words, this new issue is many times worse than that. Did someone in the family die? No, if that was true, she could just say it. There's no doubt that something outside the scope of my imagination has happened. Something downright out of the ordinary. What could it be, though? I decided to wrap up the call. I need to hang up now. I'll ask one last time. Do you want my help? Tsubaki didn't answer. Even though she doesn't answer, it seems she doesn't want to hang up either. In other words, she's asking me for help. She's telling me to let it drop. I mean, probably she's asking me for help, right? Yes. Yeah. I'm hanging up. At the same moment that I ended the call, the bell for class rang. I thought for a bit and said, at the very least, I need to go over to her house. Yeah, she must be dealing with a very difficult problem. Does it matter? And also as a main antagonist, having caused the issue in the first place. The other choice leads to dark places. Ooh, dear lord. Okay. I don't want to know the dark places. At least not now. If you don't want to miss class, don't come. Sami delightedly plays with her hair. What you're smirking about? Let's get going. They don't understand anything. Something happened to Tsubaki's family. The first thing that comes to mind is that it's somehow related to this land conflict. As one of the people with a stake in that land, I have to rush over there and grasp the situation as fast as possible. The three of us get off the platform at the Eastern District Station. Tsubaki's house should be nearby. I need to keep my guard up in case things get violent. In the midst of my thoughts, Eiichi yells loudly. Hey, cut it. He then rings the doorbell. For a moment there was silence. Yeah, do you think she just left? Usami pointed at the window. I see, whatever happened was so bad that they have to close the curtains in the middle of the day. Just as I was admiring Usami's observational skills, the door suddenly opened. Her face was as white as a ghost. Can we come in? Well, we weren't exactly invited yet, that's what I was about to say. What are you saying, Usami? God. Come to think of it, it really is rare for Eiichi to ask for any food besides sweets. Is their stew really that good? When we entered the living room, her father appeared. Why is the breadwinner of the family not working at this time of day? Because he's self-employed? But even then, something's strange. Tsubaki, her father, and her siblings all sit in the family room. But her mother's not there. Did something happen to your mother?
ああ、お母さんは寝室で寝込んでるよ。
I looked at Sami. What sharp eyes. She's searching the immediate vicinity.
椿の容体を心配してくれてありがとう。でも、もう帰りなさい。学園はどうしたんだい？
Her father's words sound very forced. He pulls out the chair near the phone and sits there with a heavy look. A gaggle of formerly rowdy kids also sit there, silently. One seems to be sleeping, one playing with toy blocks absent-mindedly, and another one clinging to Tsubaki's leg. The whole room seems dead.
あれ
Only Eiichi, who seems to be ignoring the somber atmosphere, manages to blurt something out.
あのガキじゃなくて、ええ。
As if following Eiichi's lead, Usami nods her head.
おととい探してた子がいないけど。ひろあきは今保育園だよ。
Did something happen to Hiroaki? As I was about to say that out loud, Usami quietly said,
ひろあきくんだけが保育園。
Indeed, all the other kids are still home.
椿、帰ってもらいなさい。お友達には関係ないことだよ。
わかってるよ。でもお父さん、どうしてさっきから電話の前を離れないんですか？お母さんはどうして寝込んでしまったんですか？どうして子供たちは暗い顔をしているんですか？どうして事情を話してくれないんですか？はるちゃん。椿。
I gulped. That one in a million possibility passed through my
誘
mind.
拐されたんだろう。お父さん、あなたは犯人からの電話を待っているんですよね。お母さんはショックで寝込んでいるんです。あなた方は警察にもまだ連絡していないし、犯人に連絡するなと言われているんでしょ？どうしていいか途方に暮れているんですね。
Tsubaki looks like she's about to cry.
昨日のことなの。
おい、椿。
私がもっと早く保育園に迎えに行ってあげていれば。
So he was on his way home from the kindergarten then. Okay. Last night would be after she had coffee with me?
私が保育園に行ったら、もうひろあきは帰ったって
Okay,
言わ
so
れて。
he went off on his own. Got it.
椿、もういい。
ひろあきは保育園から一人で帰ることあるの。前にも私の迎えが遅れて一人で帰ったことあるの。
I'm also partly to blame for Tsubaki getting there late, but I never would have guessed he could be kidnapped. It's far too unreal. Is this what they call the moment when everything goes wrong?
それで
In this crowded room, only Usami remains calm.
ひろあきくんが誘拐されたと確信に至ったのはなぜだ？ずっと探してたんだけど、ひろあき夜になっても帰ってこなかったの。そしたらいきなり電話があって。相手は息子を預かっているとでも言ったのか？たまたま私が電話に出て。ひろあきくんの声を聞いたか？いや、聞いてないけど。じゃあ誘拐されてないかもしれなかったり。しかし現実、ひろあきくんは帰ってきていない。誘拐犯を名乗る人物から電話があった。まず誘拐されたと見て間違いはない。気になるのはひろあきくんの安否ですね。
Tsubaki's surely more concerned about that than Usami.
お父さん、次に電話があったら真っ先に確認してください。
I get a feeling that at some point the atmosphere of the room started to revolve around Usami.
犯人の要求は？それは身代金は5000万だって。そうか。なら少なくともあと一度は犯人はこの家に接触してくるな。
I know what Usami's getting at. He has to somehow get that 50 million. Basically, The criminal has not yet spoken about how the ransom will be handed over. Still, kidnapping. This is a genuine crime. Even I, one who is always working in the gray area of commerce, was shocked. Also, I need to ensure that a certain thing doesn't happen.
っていうか、警察は
Exactly, the police.
まだ
警察には連絡するなと。
連絡したら、ヒロアキを
Well, that's standard procedure for a
警
kidnapper.
察に連絡しようかと悩んでいるところなんだ。
ダメだよお父さん。警察に連絡したことが犯人に知れたらヒロアキが
しかしこういうのは警察に任せるしかないじゃないか。
Usami silently watched the exchange between father and daughter. Trying not to raise any suspicions on myself, I spoke calmly. Please think twice about calling the police.
どうしてだい？彼らは専門家だよ。犯罪対策のプロだ。僕らはただの一般人だ。警察に任すべきじゃないか。
Tsubaki's father is clearly becoming upset. To use such mannerisms in front of his daughter's friend, he really has lost control of his emotions. Please calm down, sir. You are correct. In fact, you can say it's a citizen's duty to call the police in the event of a crime. But how can I put this? I need to convince him. Calling the police would be very problematic, because if the police come, they'll investigate all of Tsubaki's family's problems. The kidnapper's motives and why he chose Tsubaki's family would likely come to light. The fact that this family is being pushed into selling their property would doubtlessly come up during the process of investigation. And then an investigation into Sano Corporation's land development department would doubtlessly lead to information about the Azai Corporation's involvement. That was a mouthful. What? If the public found out there's a relationship between a legitimate company like Sano and a shady one like Azai, all joint projects between our organizations would cease immediately. It's impossible to stay afloat in the city if the Sano Corporation won't have anything to do with you. And naturally, my own position in the company would be put in a precarious state as well. Therefore, I must prevent any police intervention at all costs. Yes, because this is all about you. As always. Is there any guarantee that relying on the police will bring Hiroaki back?
それは。いや、きっと警察なら何とかしてくれるさ。
I slowly shake my head. Remember that I told you a little about my father.
ああ、確か金融や不動産も扱っている社長さんだとか。
I believe he was a policeman before that.
本当かね。
I think Gonzo really was a police officer. He worked in a department that dealt with organized crime. I hear that it's not unusual for a policeman in charge of organized crime countermeasures to retire into the Yakuza. But then again, I haven't heard this directly from Gonzo himself. Now then, borrowing my father's authority was a good move, but how do I change over to the main topic? It's about time to cut to the chase. I heard from my father once that kidnapping cases, when reported to the police, well, they tend to produce casualties. Oh gosh.
被害者。
Yes.
被害者って。
お父さん、やっぱり警察はダメだよ。
I'm not lying about this. Obviously, my last statement painted an image in their minds of Hiroaki in some sort of danger. However, in a kidnapping case, the kidnapped person and the threatened family are all casualties. One cannot measure the psychological pain and suffering family members go through. For this reason, whether the police become involved or not, kidnappings are bound to have casualties.
しかし、警察なら犯人を捕まえてくれるに違いない。
Okay. Sitting back down. That's good. There we go. Are you okay with just arresting the criminal? Isn't the highest priority to bring Hiroaki-kun back home? Tsubaki's father held his head.
しかし浅井さん、
What?
警察に連絡しなければひろあきくんが帰ってくるという保証もありませんよ。
Damn.
警察の介入にやたらこだわっていらっしゃるようですが。
She sniffed it right out. Well, Papa is a former police officer, so it looks like I said a bit too much.
そうっすか。
Usami stares at me with her unblinking eyes.
誘拐事件における警察の犯人検挙率は 95% だそうです。残りの 5% も特に身代金を奪われたというわけではありません。つまりこの国で警察を相手にして身代金奪取に成功した犯人はいないということで
Oh,
す。
really? That's amazing statistics. What? Son of a bitch. Where did you get all these statistics? What are you trying to say?
警察を頼れば少なくとも身代金はほぼ確実と言える可能性で返ってくるということです。
50 million. While mumbling to myself, I had a flash of inspiration. Quite a devilish conception. However, with this, I'll be able to steal the Miwa household. Oh gosh.
どうしました？浅井さん。
No, it's nothing. Be calm. Stay calm. I pretended to have a dizzy spell and shook my head. By the way, Usami.
はい。
Usami's eyes never left me during all this time. I want to know more details about kidnapping cases.
はい。
You just said that at the very least we can guarantee the ransom won't be taken, right?
はい。
Oh, sorry. In other words, although the money was safe, something else was not. Can I interpret it that way?
鋭いですね。
At that moment, Usami's expression clearly changed. When Eiichi and I stole the school keys, she seemed somehow different from usual when questioning us. But still, that was nothing compared to this. In fact, the aura she was emitting could easily be described as murderous intent.
浅井さんのおっしゃる通り、犠牲者は出ています。戦後から現在まで、通算で約180件の身代金誘拐事件が起こっています。
180 since the post-war period? That's okay.
そのうち、被害者の数は30人以上です。
30人？
That's roughly a 20% mortality rate.
やだよ、お父さん。
Right, even though it's only 20%. This is your little brother we're talking about. I can't get that spark of inspiration from earlier out of my mind. I did feel a bit of resistance to the idea, but I would love for the kidnapper to get his 50 million. 50 million isn't a small figure. I don't believe the family has that much in savings, in which case they have no choice but to get a loan from a bank. When that happens, I'm sure they'll have to put up this land as collateral. I like it when the protagonist is evil and has the second personality, which is also evil, yeah. And they're somehow compartmentalized and like not... At least from the perspective of this one that we're we're experiencing right now, they're not communicating. And if the kidnapper steals that 50 million, they won't get it back. Then Tsubaki and her family will have no choice but to leave their house. This presents yet another reason police involvement would trouble me. Still, in the end, I can't help but feel resistance to the whole thing. Because this would mean I'm condoning a genuine
日本
crime.
で警察に知られることのなかった誘拐事件というものが発生していないとは限り
I
ません。
mean, a genuine crime as opposed to your dad killing people? I would say that's also a genuine crime. Or beating them within an inch of their lives, that's also a crime.
海外では身代金誘拐を専門にした犯罪者集団がいるそうです。彼らはプロで、被害者の家族が警察に連絡せずに身代金さえ都合つければ、ほぼ確実に人質を解放するそうです。相手の出方を伺ってからもう一度検討してみるというのはどうでしょう。
Usami is 100% calm right now. She's calm, but it looks as if something in the core of her heart is blazing fiercely. Tsubaki, you also oppose calling the police, right?
だって警察には連絡するなって。
Tsubaki seems to believe even the words of a vile kidnapper. This is a good example of how sincerity can sometimes be no more than foolishness.
とにかく君たちは帰りなさい。何にせよこれは家族の問題なんだよ。
I cannot allow that. My wicked heart is jeering me on, telling me not to squander this opportunity. Sir, please let me help.
浅井くん。
I'm also partly to blame for Tsubaki's tardiness in picking up Hiroki yesterday.
それは違うよ。浅井くんは関係ないよ。
Don't bother, Tsubaki. It turned out this way because I asked you to treat me to a cup of coffee. I lowered my eyes. That aside, sir, how do you plan on assembling the ransom?
身代金
Whether you rely on the police or not, I still think there's a need to prepare the 50 million.
そんな大金うちには。
I'll try asking my father. If I explain the circumstances, I think he'll loan you the money at a low interest rate. Of course, I'll make sure you use this land as collateral.
それは。
He seemed to be at a loss for words. Maybe it's because he has nowhere else to turn. He can only sigh in dejection. Tsubaki, would you also be willing to let me handle this? When I say I feel partly to blame for the kidnapping, I'm not lying. In more ways than one, I would say. So from among the lenders under the Soa Alliance umbrella, I plan to choose one that's relatively decent. Oh wow, what a great favor you're doing them.
浅井くん。ありがとう。
I'm gonna make you lose your home, but at the very least I'm gonna choose what a relatively decent lender of money for you. How does his brain work? I don't get it. Tears well up in Tsubaki's eyes. Her father sits speechless. Ay.
いやいや、さすがの俺ちゃんもシビアに引いちゃったぜ。
Afterward, the three of us left. For now, we'll wait for the kidnapper to call again. Usami and I parted at the Eastern District's park. On the way back, Usami didn't say a single word. She seemed to be thinking that whole time. Come to think of it, weren't you pretty quiet that whole time?
おいおい、俺くらい空気を読める男になるとよ、なんつうの、さすがに無駄口を叩かないっつうの。
Actually, I think you're just about the most oblivious guy I know. Anyway, keep your mouth shut about this.
あってるって、ペットにすら言わねえよ。
Suddenly, Eiichi stopped in his tracks.
かし、椿のやつ、大丈夫かね。
What's this all of a sudden?
いやよ、さすがに誘拐って、マジサスペンスドラマかよってのは。
It came as a shock to me
な
too.
んか、俺にできることないんかね。なんだよ、なんか変なこと言ったか？
It's just, don't you usually treat younger women like bitches?
メス豚でも、俺ペット好きだし。
I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean, but it seems that even Eiichi is worried about Tsubaki. Let's not question it. Let's just leave it.
帰るわ。
Yeah.
そうだ、椿にプリンでも買ってやるか。うん、あいつは単純そうだから、そんなもんでも喜ぶだろ。これマジ優しくね。
He leaves mumbling to himself. Alright, I still have things to take care of. No rest for the wicked. But before that, I need to pay Gonzo a visit. I need him to give me the name of a good loaner. I await the train to the southern district. Still, even someone like Eiichi is a good person at heart. What about me? Oh, dear lord. Okay. Okay. I think this is a good spot maybe to leave it for tonight. What do you say? I'm afraid it's just gonna, you know, the things are gonna keep snowballing, and maybe it's best to leave it for next time. 。 . 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 。 . 。 。 。 。 。 . 。 「 we can look forward to starting with father-son time. Yeah, that's also another thing that I don't want to go to bed with this as the last thing in my mind. Let's not. Oh, Bear, you're so cute calling me that. Yeah, thank you for being here. Wait, how do I exit this again? I think escape. Yes, there it is. Oh, okay. There we are. Oh, thank you so much for being here. This, yeah, this took a turn that... how do I put it? It's not that I was expecting good things, but... Yeah, it went a little bit in ways I did not expect. Poor kid. I can only imagine. He's probably very scared. Mm. Not sure what else to say. It's it was quite heavy. Curious to see what they make of it. But yeah, I've expressed my feelings about it throughout the stream as it happened. So not sure I have any extra thoughts right now other than just ugh. And I hope it doesn't play out too much in his advantage. Yeah, poor cute girls are going to date our MC. Well, depends on what you want to do, because the point is that right now we're doing Haru's route. If this means that she's dating him, then I guess we're gonna have to put up with that. But we don't have to do the others. We can just let it be. Bancho actually recommended that we can skip those, so whatever. Maybe he gets better. I don't know. I want to give it space, of course, for the character to evolve. But I'm not holding my breath. I think that would be foolish. So yeah, let's see what happens next time. I get very stressed about things like that in stories. I don't know why. I just do. Even when we're watching a movie or a TV series as well, I kind of get so tensed up about, you know, things like, oh, how's it gonna go? Especially when there's characters that there's like some sort of innocence to them, and then bad things happen to them. That really gets me. Like I feel like a knot in my chest or something. Just want the kid to be okay. Yeah, something along those lines. But also like Tsubaki and her family, they're being taken advantage of for incredibly selfish, despicable reasons. So that also bothers me. But yeah, it's also just a story, so we can close the book for tonight. Go ahead and have a chill end of the week. And then we will see where this goes on Tuesday. Thanks so much for joining. I hope things go so much better for you than things have gone for the characters in this novel. And yeah, we'll see where they take it from here next time. Take care. Have a lovely end to your week, and see you Tuesday.